As most of you know by now, Jon Jones was arrested this past Thursday. Cops say they responded to reports of gunfire in Albuquerque around 1 a.m. They found Jones inside a 2019 Jeep with the engine running and the car in park. Jon denied firing a gun, but officers say he appeared intoxicated and conducted a field sobriety test, which he allegedly bombed. He also took a breathalyzer twice and registered over the legal limit both times. He was arrested and booked for aggravated driving while intoxicated, negligent use of a deadly weapon, and possession of an open container. Footage has been released today of Jon being arrested. The full version will be linked in the description below.
Alright, so I have to do a DWI investigation.
Okay.
Okay. Did you have anything to drink before you were driving?
Yeah, earlier I did.
Okay, how much did you have?
Like a drink.
Okay. A drink of what?
Vodka.
Vodka?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir, so you were telling this officer you were planning on driving, or what exactly happened to you?
Yeah, well, I got stir crazy, and I got pulled over being nice.
Okay.
Being nice to the homeless people.
Okay, and you told Officer Brownhead that you had already driven around the block, or?
No, I literally just got stir crazy. I just wanted to have a drive. It was my first drive in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I saw these homeless guys. I was being nice to them, having conversation with them, treating them like humans. Let me start over. I have ADD. I get punched in the head for a living. Please, hold it. Can I start over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Let me start the test now.
EFGHIJKLMNOP. EFGHIJKLMNOP.
Okay. Alright, John, go and turn around. So I do have to place you under arrest for DWI, okay?
Yes, sir.
You'll get a chance to write a breath sample on stuff you get done to the prison transfer center. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'll give you 2 handcuffs, okay?
Darren Till gives his thoughts on Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. He also speaks on his upcoming fight against Robert Whittaker.
Listen, you have to understand fights. You have to understand when I fought Thompson, the fight I had to fight against such a technician. You know, people have got this gorilla image and Darren Till, the big left hand in their head, but then they forget the fights like William, Gaslam. And, to compare, it's hard here to comment, but then he had that amazing scrap with Gaslam, and then he had the fight with Yoel, and it was, boring. But you have to understand fighting. Sometimes fights need to be, the other way. Like, I feel like I fought Masvidal wrong. I looked over him too much. I gave him respect, but not as much as he deserved. Like, went in there just to try and steamroll him, just like throw a left hand. If I could have fought him with I would have beat him, but that doesn't knock me clean. He knocked me unconscious, and fair play to the man. And now he's smashing life. Fair play. After I fought Gaslam and I was drunk in Manchester, it just started. And I know Rob's a nice guy, so I know he wouldn't take offence to it. And now the bastard started following me on my page now. So until it's serious, I'm up for whatever. I'm up for a laugh. If you want to be serious, you have to be serious, though. It's none of this. I don't like all this proper real beef. And then you see each other and there's people in the way and you're trying to get out the way and you're pushing each other. No, if it's serious, see me, we're fighting. So in the street, in the octagon, that's how it is. I haven't had that yet. I had a few encounters back in the day with like Usman and stuff, but when I seen them, they know the type of guy I am, and I seen them, and it's okay. But until like someone comes along who I'm fighting, booked into fight, and it's real beef, it can be either way. But I'm having a laugh. I'm having a laugh with Rob, and not to get on your old bad side. So, up. Here's how it is, Ariel. People still asking me if it's on or not. At the end of the day, I myself, my coach Colin, my friends, the people, they want to see that, and I'm sure Rob does. And I know the way like Dana's trying to make the Tony Khabib fight happen and stuff, and as I told you before, Ariel, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. I really want my fight to happen, but something bigger has come along now. Now, there's all these, as I said to a friend the other day, there's all these theories and conspiracies of why this is happening, if it's real or if it's not. I ain't going to give my opinion, Ariel, because I don't know nothing. I could read, you know, I like to study, I like to watch, you know, vivid documentaries and stuff, but my opinion ain't going to change anything. You know, my platform to the people best, but there's something bigger happening now, Ariel, so, you know, let that run its course. But yeah, I'm holding out for August. Whether it happens or not, don't mate, is remains to be seen.
Colby Covington on the Eurobash podcast speaks on Jorge Masvidal. He says that Jorge will overprice himself to avoid fighting Kamaru Usman.
Because I've been telling people in the media for months what's going to happen with that fight. I said journeyman Jorge Masvidal, a.k.a. the Street Judas, is going to overprice himself out of the fight. He don't want to fight Marty Fake Usman. He don't want to fight anybody that can wrestle because he can't wrestle. All he can do is get lucky and throw some Hail Mary shots and land some Hail Mary knockouts and get lightning in a bottle and get a little hype on him. That's all George is hype. Let's not forget the man has double-digit losses. He's got almost 15 losses on his record. Let's not forget the guy's a 50-50 fighter in the last 3, 4, 5 years, if you look at his record combined. Let's not forget, you know, the guy hasn't beat anybody relevant in the top 5. The guy's all hype. I mean, this is what's sad about the sport today is that all you have to do is get 1 or 2 knockouts and you get all the hype on you and people think you're a world beater, but it's not realistic. So, but going back to my original point is that George is not going to sign this fight. I think you know what happened. This fight was supposed to be signed a month or 2 ago. They've been dragging this fight out, trying to get this fight signed. And you see, George is getting too much issues. He wants the Conor fight, and he thinks he deserves Conor money. He doesn't deserve Conor money, and he's not a Conor level fighter. So, you know, he needs to get over that. He needs to get out there and either take the ass whooping by Marty and get exposed, which I don't think he's going to show up for, or he needs to sit back and let the big boys play at the top of the mountain. And that's me against Marty Fake Usman, round 2.
Anthony Rumble Johnson in a recent interview speaks on what fight inspired him to make his comeback. He says that he knows that he could do it and wants to go out there and give it a shot. Speaking to MMA Junkie, went on to say it was DC and Stipe 2 at UFC 241. I was actually watching them fight, saw them fight, and that was probably the 3rd or 4th fight I watched since I retired. When I said I was done with MMA, I really was done with MMA. At least mentally, I felt like I was done. I saw them fight, saw them go at it. They were the 2 best guys at the time. They displayed so much skill and talent. Everybody else probably saw a normal fight where they weren't doing that much, but I saw skill, talent, the timing, the setups. Everything was such a high level. It just made me say, you know what, I can still do that. So I'm going to go out there and give it a shot. Jungwei Lee posts some new training footage to her Instagram. And Michael Bisping on the Believe You Me podcast gives his thoughts on Khabib leaving AKA for Russia.
I think he's doing the right thing, okay? As we know, international travel is being shut down. Certainly the fight, if it is going to take place, isn't going to take place in England. As I just said, they've brought in a curfew now, mandatory curfew. Unless it's a medical emergency, you are not to leave the house. You're allowed out to exercise once a day. So it definitely ain't happening in England. And I would say all of mainland Europe. Russia right now, I don't know what the scale is there, but there's not really too much talk of coronavirus in Russia. So you never know. Russia could possibly be a possibility. You know, Vladimir Putin is a big MMA fan. He's a combat sports fan, and they get behind their athletes. So you never know. Could you imagine Tony versus Khabib in Russia? And I'm telling you right now, that just occurred to me right now. And if that is the case, I'm sorry, Dana White, for bursting the bubble. But that's the perfect place. It's not mainland Europe. Russia is definitely a possibility.
That's going to wrap it up for the news. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like down below and subscribe to Full Mount MMA on YouTube. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are all in reference to the KO video Mike Perry posted on his Instagram. The first one says, "I forgot what it looks like to see Mike win a fight. It's been too long. Now he's back on track." The second one says, "Mike Perry has a different definition of social distancing." And the final one says, "This is the most intelligent and articulate Mike Perry I've ever seen." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next video, be sure to drop a comment down below on this one.